Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for August 3, 2023, the Trump Indicted Again edition. Today we're going to look at 4 stories that talk about the Trump indictment for the insurrection of January 6th. What's its connection to corruption? Well, he was the most corrupt president ever. We begin with the New York Times, which in a news analysis article says that Trump's case has broad implications for American democracy, and asks the question, can a sitting leader of a country spread lies to hold on to power even after voters reject him? So not since the framers or the drafters of the Constitution have come out has this question ever been asked in a judicial proceeding, and the answers to those questions may turn the direction of our country. Next up, from the Financial Times, they take an article. Donald Trump's legal team has pushed back on the U.S. government's attempt for a speedy trial. Really no surprise there. What Trump wants is the trial delayed until after the election. I don't think there's much chance of that happening, but no surprise that Trump's lawyers don't want this to go to trial, and Trump doesn't want it to go to trial. He's betting everything he has on being elected and pardoning himself. An interesting take from the Wall Street Journal, which goes in a different direction, which says that Donald Trump's post-election behavior was deceitful and destructive and malfeasance, but was a criminal. It's pretty amazing that they would ask that question when he tried to lead an insurrection against the people of the United States, Mike Pence, members of Congress who were doing their constitutionally mandated duty. But probably not surprising from the Wall Street Journal editorial board. And our final story comes to us from Bloomberg, which notes that Mike Pence's testimony and some handwritten notes played a central part in the indictment. Pence, of course, Trump argued to Pence that he had the authority to reject state electors, and Pence pointed out no, that he didn't. Pence's only job that day of January 6th was to accept the electors' votes from the various states. Pence made notes contemporaneous with this conversation with Donald Trump, and all of this formed a basis of the indictment. So clearly, Pence's grand jury testimony or other testimony was an important part of this indictment. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.